Hey guys, welcome back to The Bull Combo, your source for album reviews, vlogs, live music, and more. Today we're talking Victim of the New Disease, the latest album by All That Remains. So stick around while we talk about the heaviest album All That Remains has released in quite a long time. Alright guys, so All That Remains are a metal hardcore band that's been around for the better part of over a decade now. And in that time period, they've pretty much established themselves at the top of the metal hardcore genre and are pretty much one of the main influencers and one of the pioneers of the metalcore sound that we know today, really. For anyone that's familiar with the metal scene or that keeps up on metal news, they probably are aware that All That Remains guitarist Ollie Herbert passed away a couple months ago now. Ollie was a great guitarist. He was probably one of the best guitarists of our generation, and he really did pave the way for a lot of the modern metalcore sound that everyone knows and loves. I do remember when The Fall of Ideals came out. I remember at the time that album was actually considered one of the top albums that a guitarist should learn just because of the technical proficiency on it. And I've always remembered that to this day, how important that album was to the metalcore genre and to the metal community in general. So, Ollie Herbert was one of those guitarists that really contributed quite a bit to the modern sound that we have all come to know and love. So, rest in peace, Ollie Herbert. These are the last solos we're going to get to hear from him, and I really do think that All That Remains did an amazing job on this album. It was clear that they were going for a different direction, different sound than some of their recent efforts and kind of trying to bring it back to their roots a little bit, and I think it was clearly it was perfectly timed. So I think we're left with some really strong songs here and some really awesome solos to remember Ollie by, and I think that for this being his last work, I think it was very impressive, and I think overall people are going to be really impressed with it, and I think it's a great way for us to be able to remember him. In terms of the production quality of this album, I really feel like it's very solid. All That Remains is one of those bands that have never really had crappy production quality by any point. I mean, I would say maybe their first or second album had the lowest level of production quality of all the albums they've had to date, but even that sounded really good for the time period. So I think that that's something that they've really never struggled with, is production quality. Mixing, mastering always just sounds great. Their mixes are really well done, and their albums usually sound really clean and crisp, so it's good to hear that. Now, in terms of the sound of the album, like I mentioned previously, it's pretty obvious that they were going for a different style sound on this album. Not so much a different style sound, but kind of paying homage to their roots a little bit, and they definitely incorporated a lot more of the heavy aspects that have kind of been lacking from All That Remains a little bit in some of their more recent albums. They had kind of veered away from the metalcore side of things, the really heavy chuggy guitar riffs and breakdowns, and then kind of moved into more of the clean singing, which had fit them well. So let's be real, let's be honest, it did fit them well. So it wasn't like the sound made no sense. It wasn't like that sound evolution was out of place. But it's really cool to hear them go back to their metal roots a little bit and go back to their hardcore roots and really dig up some of those heavy aggressive style riffs that they really haven't utilized in a long time. And I think that really shows through on this album. This album as a whole is extremely heavy, really aggressive. Obviously the guitar solos are still there, they aren't going anywhere, but they have a lot more breakdowns, a lot more grinding chugs. At points this album does feel like it kind of has a deathcore vibe going. Some parts are just so heavy, even for All That Remains, that they definitely feel like they're incorporating even a heavier style of metal than what they're used to incorporating or what they have in the past. So in terms of the heaviness, I feel like some of these songs are some of the heaviest songs they've released since The Fall of Ideals. I feel like that album was a rager. Everyone knows how big that album was. It pretty much put All That Remains on the map. And I do feel like in a lot of ways this album reminds me of that album. There's a lot of moments when they're doing that All That Remains style chug that just sounds so reminiscent of something that you would have heard off of their Fall of Ideals album. So I think it's really cool. Every once in a while a band tries to revisit the sound that kind of put them where they are. I don't know if it's for themselves or if it's kind of to give back to their fans a little bit, or if maybe it's a little bit of both, but either way, we as the music fans get to really enjoy that and really get to hear a band like that go back to their roots for a little bit. And I think that again, while they have evolved as a metal band and they have moved into some of that softer, clean singing style metal, they definitely are still a metal hardcore band. So I think it was really cool that they took the time to show everybody, hey, we're still a metal hardcore band. We still play really heavy. We're gonna drop a really heavy album for you guys to just go nuts to. So overall, I think this album is pretty sick, guys. There's 2 songs on it that aren't as heavy as the rest of the album, so it's not like it's just one big banger the whole way through. They do kind of break it up a little bit. Alone in the Darkness and Just Tell Me Something are both songs that kind of break up the heavy mood on the album a little bit. There are softer songs with more clean singing. Just Tell Me Something also has guest vocals by Danny Worsnip from Asking Alexandria, which is pretty neat. Although, to be honest with you, it pretty much sounds just like the country music that Danny Worsnip's been singing aside from Asking Alexandria, so not really sure what the point though was there. I mean, it fits well in the song because the song kind of has like a country rock ballady vibe going on. While it was cool to see him in the song, don't expect anything crazy, any crazy screams, anything like that. It's just his classic country style singing. So, you know, I wasn't too impressed with that song as a whole, but overall I felt like the album was really strong. I have to say my favorite songs on the album are probably Everything's Wrong and Wasteland. I feel like those songs, they have a really good flow to them. The choruses are really, really catchy. And those guitar riffs, man, they're just sick, man. Their guitar riffs are second to none. All That Remains has always been known for having just some of the most disgusting guitar riffs. Their pinch harmonics, their breakdowns, everything is just really crisp. And it has a really cool roll to it. The way they do their palm muted chugs and double kick pedals, it really creates this kind of rolling style breakdown that I think All That Remains has always been known for. It really creates that aggressive edge that gives the album extra oomph, a little bit extra boost. So in that regard, I think it sounds sick. So overall, guys, I'm definitely going to recommend you check out Victim of the New Disease, the newest album by All That Remains. It comes out today, Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, all major music carriers. Definitely make sure to support these guys. Make sure to show some love for Ollie Herbert. He was an amazing guitar player. I know they're actually doing something right now where they're asking fans to send in cover videos and footage from Ollie performing, and they're going to put together some sort of montage. So if you get the chance, make sure to go visit All That Remains page, and if you have some video of them, or if you do a guitar cover or a vocal cover or something like that, send it their way because it's something that they want to see. Other than that, guys, I would definitely like to hear what you think of this album. I think it's pretty sick, but I know there's going to be some mixed opinions on it, so make sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think of the album. If you like the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, click that like button. If you guys like the content you're seeing here, make sure to hit that subscribe button, click the bell to get notified. I'll be coming at you with a new video every week. In fact, I'm probably going to be coming at you with a new video later on today because I got another album review, so be on the lookout for that, guys. Other than that, guys, I would like to thank you for checking out this video. As always, I hope you guys have a great day, and until next time, we will see you soon.